Dwyer, and this is the Victor Dwyer Marketing Perspective. And today we have Vitaly. He's actually in an airport right now. This is a whole other level of dedication. Like I've never had an interview with a person in an airport. This is the first time. So I'm great. It's great to have him on. Today we're going to be talking about diversification from Amazon and how a lot of Amazon sellers, they classify themselves as Amazon sellers, and they don't actually see themselves as anything else. So it's actually a very interesting conversation to have. And he's going to go through a quick intro of about himself, his company, and things like that. And then we'll dive right into the conversation. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Victor.
Can
Thank
I
you
get a quick
for.
intro about you?
Yeah, of course. I'm on the airport right now, not because we have here like the office, because I will have today a flight. Yeah, so my name is Vitaly Hizhniak. I'm the CEO of the Profit Whales. We work in and helping like Amazon sellers, 7, 9 figure sellers to grow and scale their business on and out of the Amazon. And I guess, yeah, that could be a really good topic, like how to dive into the diversification, how to do that correctly, like how to work maybe okay on Amazon, yeah, and how to provide and get much better result than you have like right now, and how then build your brand out of that. So yeah, I spent like more than 5 years inside the digital marketing exactly, and more than like 2 years working exactly with the e-commerce brands and how to scale and grow them. So I think that that could be, yeah, really interesting to share and some insights that we have during this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. So when you see a so if you have a client and you see a top selling product on Amazon, and you say like, "Hey, this is an amazing product," what what do you do next? Do you say like, "Hey, we need to start selling this on Walmart. Hey, we need to start selling this on your website. We need to start pushing that a little more." What does that process look like?
Yeah, that is a really good question because you could like see the product and say like there is a really great product. Why? Because they have a bestseller, they have a like huge amount of the reviews, like they have a good sales volume. Like what is like wow effect for you? Yeah, and first of all, we dive into this understanding what is like the wow for this exact product and what we could deal with that. Because for all Amazon sellers on the beginning, it's really important to understand you have a good product because you have a lot of ranked and relevant keywords, right? That could help you to boost your organic and PPC sales. And that could be a really good point to get started because not all bestsellers or not all top Amazon players that have a lot of relevant ranked keywords that they use inside their semantic cores, inside their listings. And that could be a huge gap, like huge gap in the case of how to work with that. Should we work on these things first and then go out of the Amazon? So first of all, we decide what is like this wow effect, because the best things inside that you have, like your features, yeah, inside your product, there is a really good opportunities that we could use, but better to find some problems that you have inside this product that we could improve and get a new top highest, for your product.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And when it comes to actually being able to scale. So a lot of us are starting to know how to scale on Amazon because all that extra so much traffic coming through Amazon. 50% of all searches come through Amazon. So it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
easy for us sellers. Like all we have to do is show the product in front of someone and someone will buy it. Because like on Amazon, a 20 or 30% conversion rate on a listing is normal. So like,
Yeah.
but if you go to like an e-commerce store or anything else,
Mm-hmm.
a 3% conversion rate is a really, really good one. So like it's like it's comparing that are like two completely different things. So selling on Amazon is very easy because there's such a high intent search customer base that if they're wanting to search a product like a bed sheet, for example, they are going to buy that product. So
Yeah.
it's very fascinating. And when it comes to scaling on Amazon, that's been very easy because of just how many people are there. But when it comes to diversifying, what does it look like when how do you choose your platforms that is I know it's very unique on the on per product and per client, but how do you say like, hey, this should go on Walmart, hey, this should go to on your e-commerce site. How does that look like when you how do you choose what platforms the client should be on?
Yeah, so a lot of Amazon sellers they have a huge potential, or they spend a lot of money on like the Amazon PPC campaigns, right, for the advertising, and that is good. Like we absolutely love that, yeah, because like why not? The Amazon is like growing according to year to date more than 77%. Yeah, in the case of the advertising revenue, yeah, that Amazon gets, and they provide us with the new Amazon tools, and a lot of people they just, oh, I would like to grab like this one to start sponsor brands, sponsor display, sponsor products. But for us, like the main understanding is like to connect all these dots. Yeah, for example, you start the sponsor products, you grab all the analytics and statistics, the keywords, the assets, and from them build a sponsor brands campaigns. From them you're building sponsor display campaigns. But a lot of sellers they just miss this point that we have another tool inside the Amazon as like the DSP, right? The demand side platform. And these platform, you need that because first of all, the Amazon will provide you with a lot of insight analytics according to your demographic. You will see and understand your sellers much better than you have. Like you will understand your customers, and from these analytics, you will have a chance to set up the right things in the case of the campaigns on Facebook, on Instagram, or anywhere else. And another point is like the remarketing campaigns. It's like also important because the remarketing you could have a huge amount of traffic inside your listings, but could you get a chance to like get them back, or do you have a chance to like show your ads again on Amazon? And one of the most like relevant and I guess right now effective methods is like the DSP. So we start from covering the all things inside the Amazon and doing them correctly, profitably for your brands, and understand that yes, we could work with that. Yes, we could
Mhm.
scale that, and after that, base we built like this understanding according to the analytics that we have, and we could scale you on Facebook based on these analytics, on Pinterest, on Google, or like on Walmart, anywhere, because we will have this clear understanding of who is your customers, why they are buying you, according to what keywords or targeting they are buying you. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's really fascinating, and I like how you brought the DSP side of it as well, because DSP is very good for awareness. It's very good for getting your product out there, and like for Amazon Prime trailers and everything else. There's a lot of different placements that DSP can be in, and that might help you not only on Amazon but also to your own website or when it comes to diverting traffic somewhere else. So it helps you get your brand out there, which also helps not only Amazon, helps your. I always like I always tell people like DSP when it comes to attribution, it's like a TV commercial. You really can't
Mhm.
directly when it comes to the consideration campaigns or the awareness campaigns for brand exposure. You really can't calculate like the direct point from what I have
Mhm.
seen, like of where someone has purchased. So it makes it very
Mhm.
difficult to calculate. So that's where I really use that like TV commercial example that you may not know it came from this direct ad from that return ROI, but it's good on a brand awareness perspective. So that way you can get your brand out there and so that
Mhm.
way you get more exposure and more people purchasing at the same time. So that's what makes
Right.
it really important.
And what we also like in the case of the understanding inside the advertising right now, we spend a lot of time working exactly and only with the Amazon PPC. Like that was our main core that we have done. But now we create some kind of like the roadmap when you go and starting with the Amazon and go like then go down inside the DSP, inside the Facebook, inside the Instagram, and all other things. So for us, we understand Amazon. If you have like most of the sales on Amazon, it's like the main source of getting enough analytics for setting up all other campaigns. So for us, it's like important to understand, should we invest into this channel or not? Should we perform a test or not? And yeah, thanks to that Amazon just added and invite us into different like betas, and one of them was in the case of the Amazon distribution. they really do a huge step in the case of the, like clarifying the data and making like these macro links that could provide you with a lot of insights around that. So that is like absolutely the point that I really like. And with the help of the attribution, we have like some hacks, how to build a campaigns with different URLs for understanding what exactly channel provided was the good number of sales, yeah, with the enough amount of spend that you have done and get like back in the case of the ROI or ROAS, for example.
What traffic sources have you been seeing that are very successful in doing that when it comes to attribution links? Are you seeing success on Google, TikTok, Facebook, whatever you've been testing out lately? What has been your main success driver so far?
I guess like I have one source as like the wow effect for me. It's like the trust, like the reviews platforms. Like the BuzzFeed or anything else. We have launched a few campaigns for our clients when you do the organic like discussions, inside different topics, and you like discuss some products, and you provide these links to the like Amazon sellers, like, hey guys, have you ever tried this product? What do you think about that? Like, I have tried this one and I really like that. It's like really awesome. And people start like discussing that. And from these links, a lot of good number of sales getting, but that is like the organic results, like you do not spend anything from that. It's like you as like the advertiser, you or like as the owner, you could do that. I mean, like, or any of your colleagues, they could just start chatting, around some different or same products and provide people with the links. There is also like the case that's for us working really good. And of course, we love the connections, between different platforms. We love the connections between the sponsor products and Google, because with the help of the Google, you will have a chance to rank and to boost some of your keywords. Yeah. And if you like understand like this attribution window during the 14 days, you will see how good you could boost your products and like scale the results on them. The same for the Facebook when you get, or TikTok or Pinterest, when you get a clear understanding who is your audience and you have a chance to track. So for us, like the top, I guess in the case of the CPA, yeah, like lower than on Amazon. It's like your organic results, it's like your blog, your articles, like anything that you could, like PR activities that you could launch, yeah, with the like big blogs or anything else. And the then goes like Google and all other social media. So for us, social media, it's more about the content. If you do not have a good content, that will be like, complicated to get a good results.
Amen. Amen to that.
Right.
Yes, having good content is super important, and that's a very interesting philosophy. Like, what type of when you say review websites, what do you mean by review websites? Like, like where are you posting that content where you're getting the most sales? Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, we have a BuzzFeed, for example. It's like one of the things where people could just go and discuss, like the discussing platforms. I will tell you that people just provide their feedback on different stuff that they have. And from these platforms, a lot of people discuss Amazon brands. We use, for example, a sales zone that provide us with the clear understanding from where you or your competitors getting traffic. So they have a tool like the traffic insights, and you could go and check like everything, like everywhere, like people where they discussing or have ever mentioned your specific ASIN or your specific Amazon store or anything else. So for you, there is like the opportunity to understand, okay, if I'm getting the organically traffic there, if I will make some pushes here, I mean, like provide with some my initiatives, like provide some links, provide some discussions or anything else, or maybe they have any paid promotions that could work, yeah, because you have their audience, people go from there. So yeah, now we just recommend to put everywhere where you like could do is like the attribution links to understand and to track all the activities like from where they came from.
And what's a good website to see everything where they mentioned your product? What is a good tool for that for the audience to know?
We recommend right now is like the sales zone. It's like one of the good tools to use,
Are you saying
and they have
sales zone?
sales zone, right? Yeah.
Sales zone. Sales zone. And so you just enter in the product, and they'll eventually like scrape the internet for it.
Yeah, yeah, not in yeah, internet. Yeah, according to your ASIN. So you should just put your ASIN of your competitors and compare. and compare have from where you're getting this traffic or not. So
Huh.
yeah, there is really a really like for us it's like mind-blowing tool. And thanks, we will have a webinar with them next week where we will discuss how to rank your products on like the top page. So yeah, and you could try the traffic insights, and I guess they will provide us soon with the October results, like to see like how good you're performing and from where you get your traffic during this month.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really really interesting. So, what is the difference between what you're seeing between these review websites? Because I imagine that's not very scalable. I imagine like you can post a little bit of content there and you get a few sales, but within like Facebook ads, for example, you're able to scale the spend and get a decent like a large. Basically, you can just spend as a very high platform. It's very scalable. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious on the scalability of all this when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
just creating all this.
Yeah, so in the case of this kill, the review website is like for us like was like the wow effect. We just like couldn't imagine that we could grab any sales and they could boost our products like on that. But if we're speaking about the scaling your sales, it's absolutely the DSP platform. It's like one of the best tools, I guess, for now that you could spend less. Your ACOS will be much lower than on your like Amazon pages, and you will have a good remarketing and out of the Amazon ads. Yeah, so it's like really important because they have a lot of different websites where they could show your ads and you could track these activities. The DSP could have around like the same number of sales as you have on Amazon. It's like huge. So you will just double with this tool. You could double your sales, and why not? That could be much better in the case of the profitability. The next one, of course, that could be a Google. It could be also the good like recommendation to test, but we recommend to start a like the A/B tests. When you have a website in Amazon, and you will understand where you like why you should provide this traffic to Amazon, like for what reasons, to boost your organic results, to I don't know, like to get more sales from Google, like from this traffic, or you want to get your sales on your website. You could, because like a lot of brands, they have a good right now Google Ads campaigns, for their websites, and they don't want to just waste money for like boosting the Amazon. So you need to be a business, I mean, here, and you should understand that now you should launch a different A/B test on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, like everywhere that you can. For us, it's also one of the good platforms to get started and to understand how good you could like grab sales. But I guess it's not for all categories. It's like the Pinterest. It's much cheaper than Facebook, but they have a really good number of sales if you will have a good creatives. And we are the partner of the Pinterest, and they help us to create, for example, a creatives for our clients. And so that is also like good because you don't need a designer. You will have a best practices from this platform. Like, why not? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's also the things that like people could try and to test.
Yeah, and that's really smart. And while we're on the topic of like organic rake and things like that, what are your thoughts? This is a new hot topic right now within the Amazon space with the new rebate key, um, and like all these tools, like taking the NWS access away, and also their new TOS compliant update
Hmm.
saying like, hey, we have to update, or like, hey, you can't do super URLs. Hey, you can't do rebates. Hey, you can't do
Yeah.
search find buy and things like that. With everything that you talked about, how do you think this new iOS TOS update? How do you think that plays into all this?
You know, everything's starting like to be more transparent, I guess, from these points. Everything we have more restrictions according to our previous tactics. Yeah, so we couldn't use the super URLs. For us, it's like complicated. Amazon could block you if you just use the Amazon.com/GP and your ASIN, like block your accounts, like why? Yeah, because they will think that because you're using like the third party or anything else. So we recommend right now start playing according to the Amazon rules and Amazon like game that they provide us with, and like do not I don't know, like start hacking on that, because now Amazon provide you with a really good tools to grow your business. You could build a transparent traffic with the Amazon attribution, and you will get a payback in the case of like 10% commission. You will have a chance to boost and work on your ranking keywords inside with the search term impression share report or your brand analytics. So you have a lot of cool tools that you right now should use for tracking and understanding how good you're performing or bad, how your competitors are performing like badly or not. So there is also for us like the opportunity to become a brand, not a seller, because a lot of people they just want to sell for getting some money. Unfortunately, Amazon like stop working with the Amazon sellers. Amazon start working with the Amazon brands, and for you that could be the main reason to change your like marketing approach, to go deeper inside all your opportunities that you have for like scaling your business. Yeah, like scaling your business correctly, finding your audience, building your community on and out of the Amazon. So yeah.
And I want to touch on that real fast. You said something very interesting, that don't be a seller, be a brand. And like that's really funny because most Amazon sellers only think of them as Amazon sellers, but it's
Yeah.
really important to start changing that conversation, that you are a brand. Like you are something, you're growing. Like you might not get the ROI, the return on investment, at the very beginning when you make a Facebook post or a content marketing strategy, but you're building a brand. You're building something that is people will know and recognize. So when they do go through Amazon, do go through Walmart or wherever, they will find your brand and they'll say, "Oh, I recognize that. I want to buy that product." So yes, at the short term, you will not get the return on investment from it, but long term, of people knowing your brand exists and having a certain like vibe to it is extremely important. That is how Nike is created. That is how like these billion-dollar companies, it's off brand, not necessarily sales. So it's really fascinating that how most Amazon sellers play the short term game on all this, but it's actually more important to play the brand game of getting more people to understand your brand, understand the vibe of your brand. And so that way, when no matter what happens, if Amazon vanishes on off the earth tomorrow, most brands are screwed. Most Amazon sellers are absolutely screwed. But if you have, for the people that still have brand and a very strong brand presence, they are going to win because people are going to go, oh, wherever the next, whatever the next Amazon is, whoever has the best brand, they're going to go, oh, I want this Nike shoe, rather than Adidas and like other things like that. So it's really critical to make sure you're pushing your brand and not necessarily your products on Amazon to succeed.
Exactly, absolutely agree with you, because a lot of people they still thinking in a case of, hey guys, I have a some number of sales, could you please increase that? And like, okay, we could, but you have some bad reviews in the case of the packaging. In the case of that, your product is not so okay according to the previous year. It's not so new. You should remake it. And like, come on, guys, please, just more sales, okay? Like just more, and that will
Yeah.
work. And for us, it's not like the clients that we could or should continue working with. For us, it's like more important when people like passionate about their brands. They could be on just in the beginning. They just started their journey on Amazon, but they absolutely sure that they will like skyrocketing with these brands, with these products, because they want to solve some problems of like people, and they tell about that all around. They have a YouTube channel, they have a Instagram account, they have a Facebook community groups, they have a good Shopify with the reviews and everything like that. They working on like collecting all this feedback from the market and like passing back. And for us, of course, there is like the point that could help us to grow and to scale the business correctly. There is like the absolutely the opportunity for you as the Amazon sellers right now to become a like much better than your all like people and competitors around. When you will start just changing your mind of thinking, like your strategy, you will be a brand. And the easy and the first step that you could do is like create a brand book because like build your identity from the colors, from the logo, from the packaging stuff, and that could be like one of the steps. And you could like first time you will see something physical about your brand, and that is awesome.
Yeah. And I like it's so funny that like I'm all about my personal brand, but when I just created about a couple months ago I created a branding team within my company, and they were asking me about all these fonts and colors, and I was like guys, like I really don't care what my branding is. And I thought that was really funny because I am like obsessive about my personal brand. Like I'm not obsessive, but like I'm 100% focused on my personal brand, and everything else is like below that. So I care about the relationships and personal brands. And I found it funny that I didn't care about the necessarily branding because I didn't really care about the logos, the colors. I just want people to know who I am. Like that's really all I cared about. And I found it really fascinating with all the colors and brand, the colors and logos and things like that. But yes, you
Yeah,
are right. It is important to have those things so that way it is a whole other level of identity for you. Yes,
right,
I agree with that, but it's also like important to have the face of it as well is just as important as I see it, because people are much more inclined to follow people rather than businesses. So within this brand conversation, you'll have a lot more success when you actually put a person in front of it, because people follow people. People don't like following businesses. But
right.
there are times that people do follow businesses like Nike and Adidas and things like that all the time. That's like that happens all the time. But people tend to like other people more within this conversation.
Exactly. And right now we're speaking not about like just the brand book or colors, yeah, that you could do, but it's also important because they are searching about your brand or about your products on Amazon and out of the Amazon, on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook, or on Instagram, like everywhere. And if you will be different, you will not have a chance to build like this brand understanding, like brand identity. People will not associate like you and your product, and there is like it could be a huge gap for you, because if you will compare your Amazon store, your website, your Facebook, your YouTube or Instagram, and they will be different, you have a five different brands, unfortunately, not like one. Like
Yeah,
somebody tried to copy you, and
yeah.
yeah, for what reason?
Yeah, 100%. And like especially that's what makes you unique. Like anyone can copy off your product, and like all the Chinese sellers copy exactly what your product is and sell it for cheaper. That happens all the time. It happens every day. And on Amazon, it happens literally every day. But that's what really differentiates yourself from other sellers and things like that. And I do want to go back to the topic of the Amazon TOS, because it is really fascinating with this whole with everything changing within all that.
Hmm.
And I want to get your thoughts on, so like it doesn't sound like you use super URLs or anything like that, but is there any other method right now that you are using to help increase rank right now, when you're sending external traffic through your Pinterest ads, Facebook ads, whatever it may be? When you're sending the traffic, are you using any type of method to rank through those, or are you
Hmm.
just using normal URLs?
Like the main thing that we do inside the Amazon for increasing your ranking and like boosting your products, it's like all keys inside the Amazon. You should be absolutely sure that you have a good semantic course that grab and cover all needed relevant keywords, and you every time like the semantic for you is like the ongoing process inside the Amazon, because we have two main understanding right now in the case of the brand analytics. We have the click shares and we have the conversion shares. And if you would like to like influence all things around the click share and like beat your competitors, of course you should start working with your keywords, with all the campaigns that have them, like the sponsored products, the sponsored brand, or any external traffic, using the keyword, yeah, that you would like to boost, for example a Google. And if you would like to influence the conversion rates, it's all about the assets that you could add as the sponsored display, as the DSP campaigns, as like sponsored products, like when you target it into the essence of your competitors or categories. So for you, there is like all things to understand that if you would like to boost or increase your ranking, all answers inside the Amazon. It's like the main core. because all other things like the external traffic that you could use, you will use not for like rank exactly like rank some products or some keywords. You will use for like getting more and more sales, getting like be more like to build like this brand identity on these platforms. So for you, it's like every time will be like find the best CPA like all around where you could do that. And the next thing is be focusing on the Amazon exactly. Be focusing on ranking in specific platform where you're working. If you do the Google ads, start working on the ranking in Google, working with your website, and the same for the Amazon.
100%. 100% agree. And then when it comes to my thoughts on the Amazon TOS stuff, basically what I'm hearing is Amazon is all they're doing is defining what is bad and what is good. And
Hmm.
they haven't even scratched the surface of being able to track anything yet. Like they're just defining like, hey, this is bad, this is good. You can't use super URLs, can't do search find by, yada yada yada. And that's how I see it. And they haven't like from what I have seen, even simple super URLs work with the Amazon S like with the basically
Yeah.
keyword in them. Like even those still work today. And from what I have seen, and like that's the most simplest thing they can track. It literally is the easiest. It takes like I could probably track that how easy it is to track. So like the fact that they haven't even stopped that yet, not
Hmm.
only like Pixelfy URLs, Thrasio links, like you can get so much more complicated and so much more advanced. And that's not even going into search find by where it's completely untrackable, where there is literally nothing, like no links, nothing.
Hmm.
So that tells me that Amazon is so far behind all this. They're yes, they are recognizing it that they are defining it as a problem now, but in reality, they're so far behind when it comes to tracking the way the rate that they're going to track, they're going to find the simple super URLs first, and then they're going to find the more advanced super URLs, and then they're going to find
Hmm.
they're going to be able to find the Google links, and then they're going to be able to find the search find by maybe 3 years from now. Like that's my prediction. Like literally, I'm not even joking. Like I think search find by will almost always work. Like because the fact of its untrackable nature within all of
Hmm.
it, that if the user is opening up the app, typing in bedsheet and buying the product, that is a completely natural process. Like that is exactly what the customer journey does. And being able to track like, oh, that was a bad purchaser, oh, this was a good purchaser is very, very difficult to do. And
Exactly.
like it makes it where within search find by, I think that process will always work just because the untrackable nature of it. I really do.
Hmm. Yeah, and Amazon launch during the 2020, I guess, on the 2021 on the beginning, they started a readiness beta in the case of the relevancy, and they share a lot of things why they think that these purchase or this traffic is relevant and why this traffic or this purchase is not relevant. So they start working on that and they share these feedbacks in the case of have everything is like working correctly or not. And I really like the understanding that they provide the Amazon attribution. And now you could like forget about all the links that you use out of the Amazon attribution because they will not work. Yeah, because Amazon, yes, you have like said they couldn't track that. I mean, like they don't want to track that because they want to track everything that they have created. And now there is like the Amazon attribution. And the other thing is that you couldn't be irrelevant right now inside your organic results or inside your backend keywords or inside your keywords inside your listing. Yeah, because Amazon will like track that but do not rank you on these things. Yeah, they will see these manipulations and you will not get a some, I don't know, like cookies from the Amazon like, okay, good job guys. No, you will get like you will get some punishment to that. Yeah, you will get like this punishment in the case of like, hey, unfortunately these things are not working, but you could do that correctly and like boost your product with the Amazon stuff, yeah, that you could do. And the Amazon is like more about your semantic core that you could use on advertising and on your listings. And if that will be for you an ongoing process, that will be the main core way you could be ranked on different keywords and all other things. I know that a lot of Amazon sellers, they don't work, to work with the advertising. They like when you saw like, hey guys, right now all the rankings inside the advertising. Like, come on, no, other things. Could you please provide with other feedback? Like, unfortunately, right now Amazon like show all of us like now all the things will work exactly like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And like I really think where Amazon's going with all this, like I think they have to track down the reviews just because of like legality, but I don't think they're like even really incentivized. They get more money out of it. So the fact that like when it comes to the ranking part, they actually end up getting more sales from it. And basically like they always prioritize Amazon traffic, and this is actually an interesting one. Amazon prioritizes Google traffic more than their own traffic. So if I type
Yeah.
in the word bed sheet in Google right now and I buy a product, oh my Google just went off, and then um, and buy it through Google, I will get ranked higher for the keyword bed sheet. But if I type in bed sheet in Amazon and buy the bed sheet, I'm not going to get ranked as high. It's almost they prioritize it almost 3 times more than their own traffic. So that tells me they love all that external traffic. They prioritize all that external
Exactly.
traffic. And they're
And
not going to say, "Oh, sorry guys, no more external traffic. If you use external traffic, you're banned." Like, no, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They
right.
prioritize it. So, like, with this whole all this shenanigans that are going on with Amazon right now, external traffic will always be an option, and it will always benefit you in some way. Whether it's like higher conversion rate because most people are Amazon customers already, whether if it's just increasing sales velocity, which increases search rank, whatever it may be, Amazon's always going to reward you for sending external traffic to their site because they are incentivized by it. So
Right.
like that's where this whole conversation goes to. So no matter what, if you don't use super URLs, if you don't use search find buy, whatever matters, you will gain more sales benefit no matter what. And as Amazon in 10 years from now, if you send external traffic to Amazon 10 years from now, you will somehow benefit from it. I guarantee it. So
Exactly.
that's what's
Yeah.
funny within this whole conversation of everything that's going on right now with
Right,
Amazon.
right. You're absolutely right. I like totally agree with you because Amazon, it's you should understand that it's like the limited traffic platform, and they couldn't like get any traffic from there. If you will provide Amazon with the additional traffic that then will be converted, and you provide with the new like guys who will do some purchases, here it is. You will be ranked. Amazon will provide with the good feedbacks. Like, just do it. Like, just tell all over the world about the Amazon ads. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like it's really fascinating just that whole conversation. I don't know. I still don't know why Amazon would ever just rank Google higher. Why they prioritize Google's traffic more than anything else right now. Makes no sense to me, but I just know that's what happens. So it's fascinating. But
Right.
when it comes to diversification, within Amazon, when you say diversification, I think of other channels, like other channels like related to Walmart and that type of
Hmm.
diversification. When you say diversification strategy from with your Amazon brand, are you saying it from a channel perspective, like using Walmart, Target, and other channels,
Hmm.
or are you saying it from a like an advertising perspective, like using Facebook, using Pinterest, and other things
Hmm.
beside Amazon ads, like DSP and other things like that? What do you mean by diversification with all this?
It's everything that you have mentioned, but it's on different stages because you could start, for example, on the diversification inside your Amazon and start using not only the sponsored products but the sponsored brands and sponsored display. Then you go into the sponsored, like the DSP campaigns. Yeah, for you that will be a diversification of your budgets. You will
True.
stop overspending. You will start working correctly with the like profit that you have inside. So you will do that much better, and that is like the first step. After that, you go into that. Okay, I have a good amount of traffic on Amazon. I would like to double it. How should I do that? okay, let's try. I have a website. Let's try. I have some active campaigns. I will try to do the A/B test and send this traffic from the Facebook and Google, Pinterest, or anything else to Amazon and see how everything's converting. And then I will send maybe some traffic to my website. Maybe I will have a CPA better than on Amazon. So for you, as for the
Mhm.
business, it's all every time the questions, would I will have a CPA better than like on Amazon or than on a website? Yes, okay, I will continue to do that. And there is like another diversifications. And then
Mhm.
if you have enough amounts to scale your brands, like to invest into that, yeah, to explore new markets and new marketplaces, why not? You will have a chance. Just handle that, yeah. Just handle that. Just be sure that you will have a chance to work and recognize is everything's okay or not. And that will be another thing. So here's like how the brand journey will start. Yeah. So why not? If you'll have a chance to do that, go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. And for the LinkedIn audience and for on the other channels as well, go ahead and ask your questions below and we'll kind of jump through them with all the questions that you guys have. And we'll talk, like, we'll help you out with whatever questions you have related to Amazon, related to external traffic, or anything like that. So go ahead and just pound away on the comments and we'll be able to help you out. Another thing I want to touch on, it's so funny that when people have started out on Amazon, and they go back to their e-commerce site, and they're like, on Amazon I have like 30% conversion rates, and they pay, their cost per acquisition is so low because they're like, it's so easy to get a customer on Amazon. But then they go on their e-commerce site and they're like, this sucks. Like, I'm paying $50 just for my cost per
Yeah.
acquisition, and on Amazon it's $3. So it's funny to see that perspective on someone, with someone that starts out on Amazon, because they're in their own niche. It's like its own thing where
Right.
there's so many high intent search based customers that the cost per acquisition is almost always higher from it. So that's where it gets really interesting within all that.
Yeah, and it's not like every time like that, because if you have a this analytics understanding of the Amazon, you will understand that Amazon really provide you with a lot of insights that you could grab and put into different platforms. You'll like get a chance to grab them and set up campaigns on the Facebook, on the Pinterest, or anything else. You will see that your CPA will go down, because
Mhm.
a lot of people, they start their campaigns just because they think that they will like have their audience, they will do the look like or anything else, they will do a small remarketing, but like for what reason? You have never understand who is your final consumer. Yeah, grab this data from the Amazon and like be more serious in the case of like setting up all these tasks. You will have a chance to spend much better in the case of like your final goal that you would like to achieve. So I knew that Amazon will not, for example, provide any platform like Google or Facebook with the data how much they how much sales did you get. Yeah, if you will do the Google, for example, Google Ads with the Amazon attribution link, Amazon, Google will never understand. Have you ever like purchased anyone here? Do you have any conversions? Do you have any sales? Like Amazon will not share that because they have a Amazon security like policy on that. And the same for the spend. Amazon will never tell like these guys how much you are spending, on all these things. So that will be also like the reason like how to find the way how like these two big platforms or like three with the Facebook will communicate. So that is like the point that you should do. You should grab the analytics from the Google, grab analytics from the Facebook, grab analytics from Amazon, compare, make decisions, and set up the campaigns. So on the debate, like that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's great. And we're gonna pop up some questions here. Um, how do I become an Amazon live streamer? And that's what's on the screen right now. And the basically, to answer your question, is you can download the Amazon Live app, and it's very similar to like Facebook Live, if you ever done that, where you can kind of hop in and start becoming an Amazon live streamer. Now, if you were doing it in a brand case, you could do that too. Um, I haven't seen too much pickup from Amazon Live. I have seen brands featured on Amazon Live where they I think it's like the 100,000, I think it's $100,000 minimum to get
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
you're like on the first page of Amazon for like, I think it's like 3 hours, and they got their ROI back pretty fast on that $100,000. I have some of my clients do that all the time, but that's the only time I've ever seen Amazon Live actually be super effective for brands is when they are in that featured spot, and you have to be very like most likely you have to be a vendor. Most likely that like Amazon has to love you. You have to have an account man. Like everything has to go right for you to be featured like that on Amazon's number one page, and it's very hard to get to that placement. But you get your ROI back. You can make practically $500,000 in an hour from it. So it's definitely worth it. But that's the only time I've really seen success for Amazon Live. What about you, Vitaly?
Yeah, exactly. We have like the same here. It's like one of the way how you where you should understand that you're investing and testing. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
uh,
that's
for,
fantastic. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
so I guess it's too complicated to sell. Will that work for you or not? Because like people will decide that. And for you, if you see that you're working okay with the big amount of audience, okay, let's explore the Amazon Live too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely worth testing, especially if you have a lot of content. It's easy to produce more content from it.
Exactly.
Uh, but yeah, like what Muhammad said, not just Google, Amazon prioritizes every external traffic coming from any medium. Yes, that is 100% true. And we're actually doing an A/B test right now of what traffic source is the best right now. So right now, within my A/B test, I am running an A/B test between Google, Twitter, YouTube, um, and Facebook,
Facebook.
and
Mhm.
there's one more in there, but I just forgot what it was, to be honest. So between
Pinterest.
those are the ones A/B tests that I'm running right now to figure out which one is actually going to work the best. And I'll update you guys eventually about what traffic source ends up being the best. But right now it is Google. Right now Google is sitting at about a 300% effective rate, meaning that if you do rebates and search find buys, if you send instead of using a search find buy, if you send them through a Google link, it's about 3 times more effective. So you have to give away if you have to give away 100 units to rank for the keyword bed sheet, you only have to give away 30 if you use the Google link. So you end up saving a lot of money from it. Now it is more risky. It is a link. Links can be tracked through Google and everything else. So there is a lot of risk between that, but that's basically what we've been seeing. And then I'm not seeing any other questions in here. Thank you guys for staying to the end, and for a last little tip for the people that did stay to the end. Right now we are also testing basically Amazon is currently paying Google for specific Amazon ads right now. So right now we are actually taking the Amazon ad link and putting it in our external campaigns to basically artificially inflate the Google ad campaigns that Amazon is seeing from their side, so they increase spend on that side. So it's very complicated. I don't know how to explain it in words very well, but that was the best way I could explain it. It's extremely complicated, but basically we're making it look to Amazon like, wow, this Google ad performs super well. I'm going to start spending a crazy amount of money toward it, and hopefully they do it. Hopefully it works. We're testing that out. I will let you know on the results on that, but that'll be a fun test. So, Vitaly, any other words where people can follow you, or any other things that you want to mention before we sign off?
I would tell you that start to build like these diversity strategy. Yeah, if you right now working on the Amazon PPC, of course you have a lot of opportunities to like get started. You'll have a chance to improve yourself and of course become a brand, not the Amazon seller. So yeah, I guess that will be a main point to get started. And if you will need any help and support on like scale all the things to build a roadmap, to have a strategic goal on your brand, I every time here like contact me on any social media or on our website as theprofitables.com. Would be glad to help you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for everyone listening, and we're about to sign off. Thanks for listening, everyone. Peace out.